Hello, welcome to On the Bench. We're live on YouTube on the Bengal Rugby Football Union YouTube channel. And for the next 40 minutes or so, I'll be Paul Walsh here. I'll be live in conversation with former New Zealand Sevens player Rocky Khan. We'll time now to get yourselves ready, get comfortable, get yourself a cup of tea, get some snacks, and we're ready. Rocky will be joining us in a few moments. Live from Auckland in New Zealand. He's just finished a day of rugby. Lucky in New Zealand that coronavirus has left their country and they have live rugby starting today. And here he is, Rocky Khan. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you. How are you? How's your day been?
Thank you. Thanks for having me here today. It's been a pretty awesome day, pretty full on. Lots of rugby going on. We're very fortunate here in New Zealand to have rugby underway. So, been busy again, and seeing people playing the game, which is awesome to see.
That is really great. Really great for you. We're still waiting to get that chance to get back on the rugby field. I'd like to start really just I was reading about you, Rocky. You're very well known in India. Every rugby player, I think, in the country knows about Rocky Khan. And I just want to start with a quote, actually, from Gordon Titchins. I think your first coach when you got selected back in 2013 to play rugby for the New Zealand Sevens team. He says, Rocky Khan is a player, probably the nearest to Tasami Sama with his knowledge and understanding of the game. I feel Rocky could be huge in the game of sevens. So what an incredible achievement, Rocky. Getting to play rugby in New Zealand for the New Zealand team, playing sevens, just incredible. How did you feel? How did you get to that point? Just an incredible achievement.
Thanks, Paul. I guess it was just a dream of mine to wear that black jersey. One day I remember growing up and watching the Wellington Sevens and Hong Kong Sevens and seeing everyone play. And I think when I was 15, I was playing for my high school, Mount Albert Grammar School, playing rugby for them and playing for the first 15. And I got a call one day to go to Auckland Sevens training. I went to Auckland Sevens training, 15-year-old, all running around all these men. Eric Rush was one of the coaches. He was our coach, former New Zealand Sevens captain. DJ Falls was part of the team. This was before he made the New Zealand team. Sherwin Stowers, and we had about 3 or 4 halfbacks in the team that were former New Zealand Sevens players or players at the time, and that really sparked planted the seed in me to really try and wear that black jersey, because it wasn't that far away. I was only 15, so I needed to wait my time and try and make that Auckland team first, and it took about 3 years to make that Auckland team. And when I finally made that Auckland team, you go down to the Nationals. I was down in Queenstown at the time, and at the end of Nationals, they always read out a team sheet, and they always read out, there's a list of New Zealand players or players going to New Zealand Sevens camp. Remember that first Nationals I went down to, and they read the team sheet out, and my name got missed out. And I was like, oh no, that's okay. It's my first year down at Nationals. I didn't really play much there, so that's okay. So I went back. I'll go back and I'll work hard and train hard and try and learn and get better. And I'll come back the next year. And I came back the next year, and they read out the list, and my name got missed out. And I was like, oh, that's okay. I'll go back the next year and work hard and come back. And then came back the next year, and they read the team list out, and my name got missed out again. I was like, oh no, that's okay. And it happened a few times. And finally, after in 2013, went down to nationals, and they read my name out on the team sheet, and I was able to make my debut for the All Black Sevens team in Wellington in 2013. So it was really a journey of, I guess, hard work and perseverance through all the hard times. But it was well worth it though.
And how did that feel? Selected for New Zealand, debut 2013. We're going back sort of 7 years for you, Rocky.
Yeah,
Your home sevens. I mean, how fantastic was that?
yeah, it was an awesome feeling. I remember in the dressing room for the first game that I was in, just about to put my All Black Sevens jersey on, and I just started crying, just bawling my eyes out, just because of all the hard work and sacrifice to go into achieving that goal. And being myself, I'm a lot different to a lot of other players here in New Zealand. I'm half Indian, half Rotuman, so you don't really hear of Indians playing rugby, and in New Zealand, or even around the world, no one really knows of Rotuma or where Rotuma is. So when I put that black jersey on, I was able to represent both sides of my culture and become the first person to do so. And I always believe that if I can do it, then anyone else can. And especially with the Indian community, I think population's so big, it's just only a matter of time that we see some more popping up. And I'm coaching it a lot in the schools, and I'm seeing a lot of Indian rugby players pop up around the scene here in Auckland. I see a few girls playing, and I see a few boys playing. It's really brings a smile to my face just to see other people, or other Indians, or even Rotumans as well, either side, giving it a go, because I know that sometimes you can feel a bit out of place, especially here in New Zealand. You're a bit different, but um, that was my dream, just to start something that others could do.
Just perhaps say something about that perseverance. I mean, you achieve so much to get into the trials, and that must have felt really, you're on a high, you're at a trial, it's the chance of a lifetime, and then you
Mm.
get that knockback. You go again, you pick yourself up, you go again, but another knockback. How did you cope with that? How did you stay motivated? How did you stay
Um,
engaged in that process?
I guess I'm real positive in a way. I always try and keep a positive mindset in everything I do. Sometimes, it's a bit hard, but you always just gotta take the learnings. There's some good things that happen. Try and take the learnings, and then try and work on the things that you need to improve and get better. Because we can't stay still. If we stay still, it's when other people start to take over, or you get a bit complacent. So always got to try and get better. So that's the way I looked at it, and that's life. That's life, I guess. In life, things are going to happen that don't go away, but we just gotta, sort of take it on the chin, accept that it is what it is, and then you just gotta, um, I guess, take the feedback on, or look for feedback, seek advice on how to get better, and put in the work. There's no
And,
substitute for hard work.
and for you, Rocky, I mean, I've sort of watched you play since 2013. I'm no expert, but you must have really had to put in almost twice as much effort because you're not, New Zealand. These big guys. It's a kind of hard physical game there. You've got everybody. I mean, everybody who picks up everybody picks up a rugby ball in New Zealand to start with, and then all of them will want to play to have that chance. So, what sort of mindset did you have to set yourself apart from every other young person who had that ambition?
I guess I'm not the biggest player running around here in New Zealand, so I just had to play to my strengths. Just being a bit smarter and playing a bit smarter as well. I really look to try and understand the game and know how it's played, and you see different trends or different patterns in the game. I always say to a lot of people I coach, or there's in the game you get asked different questions. So the questions might be like, "What's your name?" So my name's Rocky. Where do I live? I live in Auckland. So in the game we get asked different questions, and we got to come up with the different answers in the game as quick as we come up with saying our name when we get asked it. So just trying to get a bit smarter, and just always watching different games, and you're always picking up different advice and trying to get a lot of good coaching. Trying to get the best coaching that you can. I think we're very fortunate now with the internet that you can just go on YouTube and pick up so many great mentorship or coaching just by watching on a YouTube clip, or with the internet you can connect with someone, a coach or someone with very a wealth of knowledge to help you improve and get better. So yeah, that's what I really try to do, is try to be real positive and find ways to improve and get better.
So you pulled on the jersey, Wellington Sevens, home, and then how many times did you go on to play for the New Zealand Sevens team, Rocky?
So I ended up
Remember? I'm sure you can. It's here.
yeah, it's so I played in 2013, and then I didn't get contracted again for the next season. I was quite fortunate that I knocked off my I didn't get contracted, but I still kept a positive mindset, and I thought, since I'm not contracted, what can I do now? So I really I went back to studying and went back to AET, Auckland University of Technology, and studied a sport and recreation degree, and I did a lot of coaching along the way as well. So, and then I ended up getting selected again in 2016. So I graduated from university, and then I got selected for the All Black Sevens team to play in Dubai in 2016, and then played that 2017 season. So I ended up with I think 13 or so tournaments altogether. Yeah, so it was pretty awesome.
No, fantastic. And the Seven Circuit, we watch it here online in India, and it looks so glamorous. It looks, glamorous venues. What amongst all the places you went and played, perhaps for New Zealand, perhaps in other sevens, have you played? What was your favourite venue?
Um,
Other than
2013
other than
Wellington.
home. Oh, you can't
Other than
say
home.
home. You can't
Okay,
say home,
okay.
Rocky. That's too easy. Come on, come on.
Um, yeah. I'd have to say 2018 Hong Kong Sevens.
Oh wow.
Um, and yeah, it was for a lot of reasons. I co-captained that team that year. But into the end of 2017, I moved down to Tauranga. That's when the program centralized, so we were to live in one centralized to one location. So I moved down to Tauranga, and my dad was working. We used to always work at the shop. He had a dairy shop here in Auckland, so I'd usually train and then go and work there. But he told me to go down and just to make sure I wear that black jersey again, and not to worry about him. He'll be okay. And then, unfortunately, at the end of that month, he had a heart attack, and then he ended up passing away in November 2017. So that's when my priorities changed a lot, and I kind of walked away from the rugby or the professional rugby, and focused on work and supporting my family, and making sure my mum was okay. So he had a dairy shop or a convenience store. So I walked away from professional rugby, and then started working there for 7 days a week until we were able to get it sold. So it took us about 8 months to get that sold. But during that time, I got asked to try for the All Black Sevens team, because they were sending a kind of like a development sort of second team over to Hong Kong, because the week after Hong Kong was the Commonwealth Games. So I had to go on trial and go to camps for 3 or 4 days, and then come back up to Auckland and go back to work, and then ended up making the team and getting named as co-captain. And at the Hong Kong Sevens, that's like the tournament for sevens, and um, and then I was able to wear that black jersey again, like my dad said, co-captain New Zealand, and play at the pretty much one of the best tournaments in sevens, or in the world for sevens. So I guess that was probably the most special tournament for me for a lot of different reasons, and I'm just proud that I was able to do it for my dad, because that's what he wanted.
Superb, Rocky. I mean, it's a story of perseverance all the way through, isn't it? Um, you've had challenges, you've had obstacles to overcome, tragedies in your personal life, but you've just got over them, kept playing, kept working hard. Incredible. Well done to you,
Yeah,
Rocky. Really
no,
well.
thank you. And I guess the beauty of sport and rugby, and there's a lot of parallels to life. Just hard work, perseverance. You win some, you lose some. You can celebrate your wins, and you also have to learn and try and from your losses, and that builds a lot of resilience. Resilience that you can sort of take on board and learn from, because you will face a lot of hard times in life. And
a great lesson for our young rugby players in India. Rugby isn't a very well-known game. It's often not seen as a priority in many young people's families, and it's just having that perseverance, that resilience to keep playing, keep trying. And we see some incredible stories coming out of the countryside, the very rural areas, rugby players who have excelled from very difficult circumstances in the inner cities. And it's that perseverance and that commitment and that drive is amazing. Huh?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's the beauty of sport. So we got all the accolades and all the achievements that we can do. We can achieve in the game, but I really love the life lessons that you can take out of it, because it's so applicable to life.
Lovely. Okay, we're going to change the mood a little bit, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So we've got some quick fire. I've been sent some quick fire questions. So this is the rapid fire round on rugby. So they're all kind of a little bit rugby related. You're not allowed to think about the answers.
Okay.
You've just got to come with what comes off the top of your head, and it's just rapid fire.
Yes.
Rapid fire, Rocky. Come on, you can do it.
Okay.
Okay. Favorite club rugby team?
Ponsonby Rugby Club.
Ponsonby, lovely. Favorite coach? People in New Zealand watching this.
My under 15 high school coach.
Name? Go on, name him.
Mr.
You can't remember his name.
Mr. Witchman.
Excellent. Favorite non-New Zealand rugby player? Don't know any others. No, only know.
I'm struggling here. Eddie Jones.
Yeah, well, he had a good career, didn't he? He had a good career in Australia. Best coaching advice you ever had?
You get out what you put in.
Get out what you put in. Brilliant. Biggest mistake you ever made playing on the field?
2013, I played at the Twickenham Sevens, and I came on as a reserve, and I did a crossfield kick. They ended up getting the ball and scored, and I got subbed off straight after.
No chance. Paddock and sheds or pitch and changing rooms?
What was the first one, sorry?
Paddock and sheds or pitch and changing rooms?
Pitch and changing rooms.
Oh, okay, you're not real New Zealander then. Don't say paddock. Run shuttles or a 5K?
5K.
5K, okay. You're not a rugby player. What's this? Worst fitness drill, toughest fitness drill?
Beat test.
Beat test, yes, absolutely. Okay, now this is a tricky one.
Yes.
Favourite New Zealand Sevens player?
Eric Rush.
Eric Rush, okay, lovely. So we'll end on Eric Rush, actually. I was going to ask you another question, but let's talk about Eric Rush. Why is he your favourite player?
He was
legend
my coach
of Hong Kong,
as well.
By the way, isn't he? Legend of Hong Kong, the legend of New Zealand as well, but a legend of the Hong Kong Sevens.
His leadership, just really loved his leadership, the way he led his teams and the way he galvanised his teams and got the best out of his players. He was my first Sevens coach at Auckland. We had him for about 3-4 years, and we won nationals 4 years in a row. And a lot of players that were in his environment have gone on to do great things, play for New Zealand Sevens, play All Blacks, play professional rugby overseas, play for American Sevens, American 15s, and just the way I was able to lead and get the best out of people was or people he was looking after was what I loved about it.
I happen to know this. I don't know if he's listening, but there's a coach in India called Sanjay, and he has a picture actually on his wall in his home of Eric Rush. Can you imagine?
Awesome.
All the way in Bengal,
Yes.
He loves Eric Rush. He talks about Eric Rush. He's watches videos of him. He's absolutely, besotted
Awesome.
by him. So can you
Yes.
imagine that story of fantastic players and people who
Yeah.
achieve the things? It travels everywhere around the world,
Yeah.
just like your
Exactly.
story, Rocky. Just like your story. So can we just talk a little bit about your ancestry, because
Yes.
that's interesting to everybody in India. Rocky Khan. Um,
Yes.
so let's talk about that to start with. The Khan surname. What a name. Can you share a
Yes.
little bit of the story of where that's come from?
Oh yeah.
What you know?
So yeah, I don't know too much. I know that my parents, my father was born in Bar in Fiji, and his parents were born there as well. But obviously they came over from India. From what I know of, it's part of the Pashtuns,
Oh yes,
or
yeah, yeah,
yeah, Khans,
absolutely.
Pashtuns, sort of around that. I haven't been able to get too much information out of my relatives, but that's something I really want to do is try and get out of find out more about that side of my family links, and my dreams to go back to India and help build the rugby in India, and
Brilliant.
I really believe that India is going to be a powerhouse in rugby one day.
Lovely, lovely. So if you have any sponsors listening, can you just listen to Rocky there? Flight, tickets, accommodation, and we'll be on.
Yeah, I'll be
So
there.
and it is a really it's an incredible surname, Khan. I mean, in Calcutta,
Mm,
and it's
yes,
interesting. We have in the little club that I am part of, the Jungle Crows. We also have our own very well known rugby player who's also
yes.
called Khan, Zafar
Wow,
Khan. And I
wow.
don't know if he's listening, but he needs to fire in a comment if he's listening. And yeah, exactly, Patan, that kind of heritage. It's an incredible name with a lot of heritage, with a lot of history behind it. So
Yes,
it's a great thing. So
yes.
so it's your now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about was your mum, because this is really interesting, isn't it? Because your mum is from a small nation, a small island called Rotaman. Is that right?
Yes, she's Rotuman, and the island's called Rotuma.
Rotuma.
So Rotuma is about approximately 400 kilometers northwest of Fiji. Small island, only 2,000 people on the island.
Wow.
About 10,000 in Fiji and 5,000 in the rest of the world. It's a real small population. They really punch above their weight, though. The president of Fiji is Rotuman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they kind of fall under Fiji's governance. So the president of Fiji is Rotuman, and there's the driver of the royal family in England's Rotuman as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
So they've got.
he stays in Kensington Palace.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. And I
Yeah.
remember reading an interview back in sort of when you were playing that you'd
Yes.
never visited Rotomar, but you have now, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. So in 2000 and end of 2018, I
Right.
ended up going to Rotuma for the first time. It was pretty special because there's no tourism on the island.
Yeah. I mean, Fiji is quite difficult to get to, isn't it? I can imagine you have to fly to New Zealand or Australia, then take a long flight to get to Fiji, and then
Yes.
another long flight, is it, to get to Rotuma?
Yeah, so it's cheaper to fly to Fiji in Australia than it is to fly to Rotuma.
And
So
how was
it's
that?
a lot of people.
I've seen a picture. I think you're presenting them at the airport. You're presenting an All Blacks jersey. Is that right? They're quite
Yes,
proud of you.
yes, yes, yes. That was one of my goals and dreams. Is when I before I made the sevens team was actually to go back to Rotuma one day and do something, for the little island. So one of my other dreams is to go back to India as also a way and do something there. So I'm looking forward to making that happen one day.
Excellent, excellent. So you said at the start that you see more Indian youngsters playing rugby in
Mm.
Auckland. So is there any? One of our questions was about, is there any Indian origin youngster looking to break through? You've seen any good talent out there?
There's little ones starting to pop up. Seeing one trial for like an Auckland under 14 team. Seeing girls trial for their school teams and starting to play. Um, there's also little half caste Fijians similar to myself, Fiji Indians, that are playing professional rugby as well. There's Ben Volavola, who played for
Mm.
the Crusaders, and he's half Fijian Indian as well.
Oh,
So
really?
he ended up seeing one of was it Hollywood actress
Oh,
from Divergent.
oh,
So
yeah.
he's half Fijian Indian as well.
Okay, lovely.
There's a guy, Jack Graham, who used to play for Northland, NPC, a Mitre 10 Cup. He's half Indian as well. So there's a lot more popping up,
Great.
popping up on the scenes. I'm looking forward to more popping up as well, and even just seeing the Indians from the mainland, from the homeland, popping up as well, and the international and professional scene as well.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. So if we can, let's kind of bring the conversation a little bit up to date.
Yes,
Um, you're now not retired from rugby, are you? But you're not regularly playing as much as you
yes,
used to. I think that's
yeah,
probably the right way to describe it.
yes.
Um, 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 but you're still really heavily into rugby. You're out coaching
Mm.
today. So tell us about what you're doing today. What were you coaching? Who were you looking at? What were you watching?
So I'm the rugby development officer at the Ponsonby Rugby Club. So it's pretty much a director rugby role. What I do. So I oversee all the on-field rugby operations of the club, from our juniors right up to the seniors. Today we had our senior teams playing against each other. They had an internal game. So our men's had our premiers, our premier development, and our under 21s team playing against each other. Uh, we were playing against our own club mates, but it was quite a fierce competition. There was some
Often
intense.
it's the same.
yeah, yeah. Everyone's playing for spots, and that's the beauty about it. And the beauty of our club as well. We've got the most All Blacks in New Zealand at our club. We had 3 All Blacks play for us last year. Sonny Bill Williams, Rico Ioane, and Patrick Tupolotu. So they all had one club game and played for us last year. Um, well, also today we had our women's teams. We had 41 girls, women's train for us on Thursday, and today we had an internal game playing against each other as well for 40 minutes. And we did a bit of a training, and then I finished off with some fitness conditioning for them. So yeah, that's what I do. I oversee the rugby program at Ponsonby Rugby Club. I'm helping coach our women's team, and also assistant coach at the Mount Albert Grammar School first 15. That's
Brilliant.
my old school, and just giving back there as well.
So at Ponsonby you have kind of age grade teams as well. You have juniors, small
Yes. So
children.
yeah, so we have junior teams. We have under 6 to under 13. Oh, actually, we got a nursery grade team, so it'll be under 4 and 5
Oh,
to under 13. So we had our first nursery grade team today. Oh no, also we actually got an under 15 girls team that we got over the line last week as well. So we got 41 junior teams,
yeah.
um, and 10 senior
41.
teams. Yeah, 41 junior teams. Might be 42 after the end of or at the start of next week. We're just trying to get one more team confirmed.
And
Yeah,
all that
so
is volunteer coaches, parents.
yeah, yeah. We're lucky we've got a really great club and community of sport. It's all volunteers. So we've got 3 staff: myself, our general manager, and our admin. Mark Cooper's our general manager. Um, he's the assistant coach at Kelston Boys High School, and he's also assistant coach of the New Zealand Barbarian Schools team last year. So he got the New Zealand team and the second team. He was the assistant coach for that. Myself, and he got our admin Sanja Ioane. So her sons are Rico and Akira Ioane at
Of course,
the Blues and the All Blacks.
where,
So
where the where the famous story during the World Cup, and she took
yes,
somebody back from the pub to sleep on
yeah,
their couch, and he woke up and there's like the Ione brothers having breakfast next to him.
yeah. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. So yeah, she's our admin at our club. Um, yeah, we got and we just got a great people, just great committee and great volunteers. All our coaches are volunteers. And our premier men's coach, we've got ex-professional players and ex-All Blacks just volunteering their time and just giving back to the game because they know the game's done so much for them. And that's the beauty of sports and community rugby. It's
It's part of life, I suppose, in Auckland, in other all over New Zealand.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I guess nowadays with professional rugby, sometimes we can get lost in the value and of club rugby or grassroots rugby and what it's meant to be. And rugby or the rugby club is like a hub. Where you can come along and you can meet great people from lots of different walks of life, and you can make great friends and lifelong friends. Eh? And then when you're out away from the club room, that's or from the rugby grounds, there's a lot of great people that can help you with life after rugby. And that's probably how I ended up back at the Ponsonby Rugby Club. So 2017, I was at a different rugby club, and I was down at All Black Sevens camp, and Wayne Smith, the legendary All Blacks coach, he came into camp one day and he asked me, what club do I play for? And I go, I play for this club, but I miss Ponsonby, my old club. He goes, I'm a real big believer in one club men. He goes, the club that you play for is the club you play for the rest of your life. He goes, the people that you meet and the connections that you make can help you for life, for rugby for life, at your club. And that really planted the seed in me going back. And I'm really sort of grateful that I went back, because some of the stuff that's happened since then has been a real blessing.
Nice. Yeah, going home. So I kind of read about New Zealand age, junior rugby, and you have a kind of weight level competition. Is that right? It's just kind of even up the kind of standard and the sizes in the youngsters. Is that something that you've been involved in? I'm just interested in how that works. So I'm not sure if I have kind of gone off or Rocky has gone off. Rocky's frozen on the screen at the moment, everyone. Are you back, Rocky?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here, but then I'm just talking to my.
Sorry.
You're here. Great, Rocky. Great.
Sorry about that.
It's a long way to New Zealand.
Yeah.
And we've just got to keep pedaling. We've just got to keep pedaling, Rocky. We've got to keep.
We'll get there.
Keep the power going. I was just going to ask you about how age grade rugby works. I know you have a system in New Zealand where players are often ranked on weight rather than just on age. How does that operate?
So we've got age groups, and there's about three weight grades per grade per age group they can play. So let me just have a look here. So we got for example, when it goes, so you got our where I'm going to play. So I'll go to our under 11s, for example. So we've got, I'll go to our under 12s. So under 12s, we've got under 12 capped. So it's under 74 kgs.
Okay.
We got our under 12 restricted, which is under 52 kgs.
Okay.
So it's the restricted, but the lighter ones, and the capped for a bit of for the heavier kids. We've got our year 7 and 8. That's kind of our year under 13 combined. That's no restrictions on weight.
And that's the weight of the player, or it's a kind of overall weight of the team? How does that operate?
Of the player. So we just finished our junior registrations last week, and then you register for us, our club. We register online, and then you pay your fees, and you come down to the rugby club. You get officially weighed in, and then you get put into a certain team depending on your weight. Yeah. Some kids are bigger than me that turned up.
Oh wow, yeah. I can imagine some big kids, huh? Some big kids. So that works quite well. Do you think that kind of gives everybody a bit of a chance to play, be competitive, score a try?
I think it does. One thing I would really like to see is probably more open grades or open teams, because there's a few big boys that do run around or that do want to play, but there's no team for them because they're too heavy for the capped grade. So if we can really drive or get more teams in the open grade at different, from around Auckland, then we can see more people playing the game. Yeah, I guess that's me. I'm a real driver for people playing.
Yeah, you don't want people dropping out because they don't get a chance to play. That's not.
Yeah, exactly.
So you also run a thing called Rugby on the Rocks. So
yes.
I actually don't know any. So tell us a little bit about that, Rocky. What's Rugby on the Rocks?
So rugby on rocks. It's it's pretty much what I've been doing my whole life. Away from rugby, it's rugby coaching, mentoring, rugby development, and high performance. as well. So I have a real massive vision that I'll have 100,000 consultants around the world teaching the knowledge that I have to go out there and positively impact the world. That's my personal mission statement.
Perfect.
Everything that I do is to positively impact the world, whether it be in a small way or big way, or catching up with a little kid, or talking to the pros or the elites. So that's pretty much everything behind Rugby on the Rocks summed up. It's just positively impacting the world through rugby, and like something like this is probably one of the ways that I'm able to do that.
I mean, it's positive impact. Rocky is, it's about having role models, and for a lot of our young players in India, there's not that many visible rugby role models. Perhaps not that many international rugby role models, and that's absolutely what you are, Rocky. You're a role model to a lot of young people, and especially, it's a funny thing. It's your size, huh? Because that's what I always think. There's this little. I mean, I remember seeing Rocky Khan. That try against Spain, huh? That
Yeah.
just that in the film at the start. How did that feel? That's just a great thing, just picking up the ball and off you go.
That was pretty special. That one. That was my debut, and
Oh, I did. Oh, really? Wow.
yeah, that was my first touch of the ball,
Oh,
and I was able to score a try with that. So that was really special for me to be able to do that. And it was quite funny because that clip that happened in 2013, and we had one of our schools come up and use our facilities last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and they did a little video presentation just introducing me, and they played that video clip, and that was the first time I saw that video clip since 2013. So
wow.
I was a little bit emotional when they showed it. I was trying to hide it though, but yeah.
A kid. You're a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's just. And I didn't realize that was your debut, first touch the ball. Can you imagine?
Yeah. So I just kept running. I just until I get tackled.
Brilliant, brilliant. Can't have a better debut than that. You cannot. Who did you? And so you'd come on for somebody. You had 10 on your back. So who did you come on for?
Oh, I can't remember. May have come on for Tomasi Thama that game.
Yeah, I mean, what a thing! I think I mean, I guess that would be about the right time. I mean, it
Yeah,
would have been. I mean, what a thing to do! Just to kind of make your debut at home,
yeah,
in front of the home crowd, and
yeah.
you've been to the sevens before. You've been a supporter. You've been in
Yeah,
the
I've been
crowd.
there. I've been there a couple of times. Been a great time.
You know
Great
what's coming
time.
up next? The question that's coming up next, obviously, is what was your fancy dress?
Oh shucks, I can't remember. I can't remember. Um, there was times where I think Hong Kong Sevens we were in robes, just golden robes. We didn't really dress up too much, but it was some good times though.
No mankinis. Anyway, sorry.
One of my friends went to the Hong Kong Sevens dressed up as a shark in a shark costume, and he kept going around and saying shark attack and attacking people, and then and he ended up doing just crowd surfing. He was a shark, and he was going down the crowds were like throwing him down. It's pretty funny.
That stand in Hong Kong is a crazy place.
Yes,
Absolutely crazy
yes,
place. So just getting back to kind of just talk a little bit about currently. So, I think it'd be really helpful if we've talked about perseverance and how you have to have
yeah.
that. What would be if you could think of a couple of things of advice for young players, to kind of what would be your kind of your favourite advice that you could share?
Um, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the All Black Sevens team and representing and playing for the team and wearing that black jersey. I saw it in my mind first, and then eventually I was able to hold it in my hand with a lot of hard work and and dedication. But I'm a real big believer that we're the author to our own book. We can create our own reality, um, and if we can, sometimes all we need is a pen and a paper, and just put what we see in our mind on paper, and then get to work on it, and we can hold it in our hand. And that's really I've been able to do that in a lot of A lot of things I've done in my life and achieved some pretty awesome things. It was all because I saw it in my mind first, and then I was able to hold it in my hand. So that's what I really encourage everyone, especially all the viewers, or the Indian rugby players that are there. That that you can dream big, and if you can see yourself being the best in the world, um, there's no reason why you can't do it. Because if I can wear the black jersey, and I see anyone can do it. So yeah.
Absolutely inspiration, Rocky. But now we're gonna. I mean, that's just lovely. I mean, it's such good advice for people. And it's something I absolutely believe in the same way. Is that you just have to have that vision, see where
Mm,
you want to be, understand that you have to plan. You have to kind of it can't just happen because you dream about it. But if
yeah.
you can really be serious and plan and think about how you're going to get to the way you really want to be, then it can
Mm,
happen. We
mm,
see some lovely stories in India of young athletes in rugby. Yeah, in rugby, absolutely, some amazing stories of young people who achieve way beyond what anybody could ever have expected of them. So it's
yeah.
lovely,
That's
Rocky.
awesome.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, we're going to go back to rapid fire, Rocky.
Okay, I'll try and
So,
do better
so,
this time.
so, so yeah, we're going to go back to rapid fire. Not so much rugby focused now. We're just going to
Okay.
kind of give you a kind of a. So this is the warm down, Rocky. This is your
Yes, yes,
warm
yes,
down
yes. Okay.
session. Okay. So, favorite New Zealand holiday destination?
Queenstown.
Queenstown. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Beach. Nice, nice. Are you the driver or the sleeping passenger?
Driver.
Driver. Great. Burger or fine dining?
Burger.
Burger. Nice, nice. Curry and rice or fish and chips?
Curry and rice.
Great, great. You had to say that. You had to say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had to say it.
Um, biggest, you may not have, biggest bad habit.
Um, it's probably not a bad habit, but getting up early.
Getting up early. That's a good
I'm an early
habit.
riser.
Yeah, that's a good habit.
5 a.m.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice. That's what early bird catches the worm.
Exactly.
Um, Netflix or Amazon TV? Or Amazon or
Netflix.
TV? Netflix. Any good recommendations for us all?
Oh, I liked watching that Michael Jordan documentary lately.
Yeah, that's very good.
That's
Yeah,
been awesome.
absolutely. It's been excellent. Huh? Interviewer or interviewee?
Interviewee.
Interviewee. Nice. One word on Indian rugby.
It's probably not one word, but it's just getting started.
Getting started. Yeah, yeah.
Getting
Right.
started.
We spoke yesterday. You talked about the Phoenix, huh?
Yes, yes.
Okay, this is the final rapid fire question.
Okay.
Almost the final question of our session. We have to get to the second half of the Super 15s. Um,
That's right. Yeah,
uh, since they're back on, I mean, how lucky are you? They're
yeah,
back on Super
yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Uh, beer, wine, or juice?
Juice.
Juice. Good lad. Okay, so that sort of wraps it up, Rocky. Really,
Awesome.
it's been really good having this conversation with you, having this chat with you. Some great advice, some great, great. You've got a great story here, a fantastic story. You really did something that is, that is beyond any of our imaginations. For little, a young, small-ish. Young person playing in New Zealand, the home of rugby, to get pull on that black jersey is something really special. So I'm going to leave the last word to you, Rocky. Some message, quick shout for all the rugby crazy people in India.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me on board. It's been an awesome interview. I've loved every minute of it, and hopefully we can keep in touch in the future and do some more great things in the community. But yeah, I guess my word of advice, I think I said it before, is if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, and I really believe that. that we can create something special if we really wanted to, and to be real illogical. You know, it may not make sense. It probably didn't make sense of a small half Indian, half Ratuman boy putting on the black jersey to play for the New Zealand Sevens team, but I really did something illogical and believed in myself and went for it. So yeah, just see it in your mind. You can hold in your hand and do something that, on a scale from 1 to 10, you might think it's a 10, but then when you get to the 10, it might actually be a 2. so
It was
really,
definitely a 10. It was definitely a 10.
yeah, so really try and do something so great that it will force you to level up and be the person that it will take to achieve that goal. So dream big and keep working hard and keep having fun at the same time.
Yeah, important.
Be kind to people.
Yeah, yeah, important. So this is Paul Walsh saying goodbye from On the Bench. That's Rocky Khan over in Auckland, New Zealand. It's been great to speak to you, Rocky. I hope lots of people listen and take on this fantastic advice from you. Good evening to you. Good afternoon to everybody here. Thanks a lot.